Around the 8th month of the lunar calendar, you'll probably start seeing videos of the Qiantang River tide all over the internet. The waves can raise several meters high, rushing upstream like a wall of water. Today, the Qiantang tide is one of Hangzhou's most famous natural spectacles, and for people living here 1,000 years ago, it was sometimes much more frightening. The tide could destroy farmland, damage the river banks, and even take people's lives. So ancient residents believe that there must be some kind of monster living beneath the water. During the Liuhe Kingdom, the king even built a pagoda to surprise the tide. And that's the place we are going to visit today, Liuhe Pagoda. But I prefer a more practical explanation. The Liuhe Pagoda have another important function, served as a lighthouse. When Qian family first built the Liuhe Kingdom, the political condition was not very safe. They almost faced the rival regimes from every direction. Then the Qiantang River became the main connection for them to travel to the outside world. The soldiers, the travelers, the merchants, they all used the river to get connected with the other cities. And at that time, the river was crowded with boats. At night, the light from the Liuhe Pagoda can serve as a guide for these boats and helped them to navigate safely. Today, boats on the Qiantang River no longer need it, but the restored Liuhe Pagoda still stands here, watching over the city. There is an old saying that captures the character of Hangzhou's three famous pagodas. Liuhe Pagoda is like a monk, Baochu Pagoda is like a beautiful woman, and Liuhe Pagoda is like a general. And I think Liuhe Pagoda really does have something of a general's character. Its dark brown color, heavy and solid appearance, lack of excessive decoration, and wooden architecture gave it a sense of simplicity, strength, and calmness. Surrounded by dark green trees, it almost felt like a building from another time. The original pagoda was destroyed by fire and was rebuilt in 1153 during the Song dynasty. It was constructed in a Liuhe style, a pavilion-style tradition, with an inner octagonal brick structure surrounded by an outer wooden structure. Although the pagoda appears to have 13 stories from the outside, there are actually only 7 floors inside. A spiral staircase wraps around the central brick structure, allowing visitors to climb up to each level and enjoy the view. And once you get closer, you can see how closely the brick structure imitates traditional wooden architecture. Today, many of these decorations have been restored, and they are very colorful. The doors and niches are decorated with curved arches, while smooth-style platforms, or 须弥座, are placed beneath the niches. These platforms are decorated with flowers and mythical animals. The inner chambers are also decorated with murals, including dragons, human figures, and various stories. What we see today is largely the result of a restoration during the Republican period and later, because it is extremely difficult for a wooden structure to survive for centuries in the humid climate of southern China. But much of the inner brick structures still dates back to the Song dynasty. This is also what makes Liuhe Pagoda particularly special. It is one of the few surviving Song dynasty pagodas that visitors can still climb today. And once you reach the upper platform, the Qiantang River opens up before you. It's incredibly wide. With modern buildings standing on both sides, the landscape almost looks unreal. Westerly gives Hangzhou its classical atmosphere, but the Qiantang River tells a different story. It helps explain why Hangzhou became such an important political and economic center. In ancient times, river was the main highway for long-distance transportation. Hangzhou sits at the mouth of the Qiantang River, connecting the inland waterways with the sea and the wider outside world. And the road continued even into modern times. In 1907, Hangzhou's first railway was completed. Its terminal station, Zhakou, was built near Liuhe Pagoda and close to the river. Then in 1934, the first bridge across the Qiantang River was completed. For the first time, the northern and southern bank were directly connected, which also encouraged the development of the southern side of the river. The bridge is still in use today. You can see the road deck above carrying cars and pedestrians, while the railway runs underneath. Liuhe Pagoda stands on the other side of Hangzhou, quite far from Westlake and modern city center. When you stand at the top of Liuhe Pagoda, you're not just looking at the beautiful view, you're looking at another side of Hangzhou, a more political, more commercial, and more practical side, and perhaps a side that's easier to miss.